Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy April. Today is April 1st. I am so excited for April. I mentioned this in my last video, but for the entire month of April, we are going to be doing a full month of nothing new here on my channel. I am so excited about this because I am quite positive that I am not the only one that, as much as I love makeup, as much as I love new makeup, I definitely feel overwhelmed with so much new makeup constantly hitting the market. I'm always feeling that need to kind of try something new, to try out the latest, most hyped up products, because we don't want to miss out on those things. But then I look at the things that I've accumulated in my collection and realize that they are not getting enough use. So this month we are just going to be focusing on the stuff that I already have and that I already love. Some of these are quite old, very old favorites. Also some things that are somewhat newer to me that I just really haven't had a chance to delve into. But I hope you guys are excited about this month. If you are and you are not yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But I want to throw a challenge out there for any of you makeup lovers or collectors that are interested. Dig into the back of your collection, find an old favorite product that you have not reached for a while, and pull that thing back out and give it a try. So to kick off this month's theme, I thought it would be really fun to share with you guys the 10 oldest makeup products in my collection. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the actual physical product with some of these. Some of these I have repurchased several times, but these are all things that I have had and used and loved in my collection from way, way back. Now, I'm going to give you guys a heads up. Some of these products are discontinued and no longer available, but I'm going to talk to you guys about why I love them, why I still hold on to them. Thought it would be fun to share with you guys some of the makeup that has kind of defined me over the years. Kind of give you guys a glimpse into what started my love for makeup. First thing that I have to mention, I know that I've talked about on my channel before, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it definitely is a part of my story, and it is the Wet n Wild Kohl eye pencil. I have been buying this eye pencil for 10 years, and I probably will continue to buy this over and over again. This is a very simple 99-cent pencil from the drugstore, but I just have become so accustomed to using this that it's something that I will always have in my collection. I actually have 3 of them opened here right now. I have one up in my car. It's just one of those products I always love to have on hand. I'm a huge fan of a smoky kind of brown outer lash line on my eyes. That's a look that I do almost every day, and I usually create that with this or something similar to this. And at 99 cents, it's just a staple product that I love having plenty of these in my collection. The next thing I wanted to mention is a tool that I don't think I talk about very much, and it is an eyelash curler. This is the e.l.f. eyelash curler. This is very, very inexpensive. I want to say this is maybe $2 or $3 if you buy this at Walmart or at Target. I've been using this thing for so many years. I've gone through quite a few of these little replaceable pads. I know an eyelash curler is not the most exciting thing in the world, and I know that this specific eyelash curler is probably not the best quality eyelash curler on the market, but it works for me, and I use this pretty much all the time. Now, I don't necessarily even curl my lashes because I want my lashes to be more upright or longer, but I do it to kind of open up my eyes because I have very small eyes. Moving on to a couple of face products. The first one is a foundation that I think this was discontinued a couple of years ago, which I know is strange that I still have this thing, but I did buy a couple of backups of this before they discontinued it. So this one I have only had open for a few months, and it is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation. Do any of you remember this red lid foundation that everyone seemed to love about 5 years ago here on YouTube? I still think this is such a great foundation. I love the finish of this. It's a very nice, rich, but not too heavy feeling full coverage foundation that lasts really well on the skin. So they did reformulate this to this bottle right here, and I have to say I don't like the new formulation quite as much. It's not quite as full coverage, it's a little bit more liquidy, and I do think this one oxidizes a little bit more than this one does. After applying this one, it turns a little bit pink on my skin, which is one of my pet peeves with foundations. When they do that, they are a no-go in my book. This was definitely my most repurchased foundation up until a couple of years ago. Let me know if any of you guys tried this. Let me know if you still have this floating around in the back of your makeup drawer somewhere. Next up is kind of a random product that I'm a little self-conscious to share with you guys because this is a little bit grimy looking. This is the e.l.f. concealer pencil. Now, I don't think a lot of people really talked about this. I picked this up kind of at random from e.l.f. several years ago, and by several I mean like 10 years ago. We're talking like 2011. This was a very, very long time ago, but I fell in love with this thing for one specific purpose, and that is for concealing spots on my face that kind of start to peek through my foundation, the rest of my makeup throughout the day. I love putting this, especially in these areas of my face where I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation. I have some acne scarring around here that tends to sometimes start to show through as my makeup kind of wears off throughout the day, but I can just pop this thing on, tap it in, and boom, it's gone. I love this product. I am so sad they discontinued this. I think I bought 6 backups of this thing before they discontinued it, and this is my last one, which makes me so sad because I have yet to find a dupe for this product. So as I was going through my cheap product drawers, I realized a couple of things. First of all, I was not a highlighter person several years ago. I'm relatively new to the highlighting trend. It took me a while to really get on board with that trend and really know how to use highlighter with my skin type, with my skin texture, but I do have a bronzer and a blush that go way far back to me. First off is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I just talked about this bronzer in my bronzer ranking video, and this is my #1 ranked bronzer. It also happens to be one of the bronzers I've been using for the longest amount of time. This is my very first high-end bronzer purchase, and to this day, I love this bronzer. Not only do I love the formula of this and the color of this, it works great on me when I'm very fair, it works great when I'm very tan. I also love the smell, and I think most of all, this just has a lot of sentimental value to me. I remember buying this bronzer from Ulta and just feeling like I had accomplished something. I know that sounds very ridiculous, but I really saved up. I really did research. This was a bronzer I had my eye on for a very long time, and this was back in the day when I really did not buy high-end makeup. So this was a bit of a gem for me, and I still love this bronzer. Moving on to the oldest blush that I still have and still use in my collection, and it is Margin by MAC. I picked this blush up, I think, back in like 2010. That's a long time. I know that that makes this blush very old. Some of you may not keep your makeup for that long, but when it comes to my powder products, I'm not all that finicky as far as getting rid of things very quickly. As long as I find that the formula hasn't changed and that they aren't breaking me out, I don't mind keeping them. This one has quite a dent in it. I don't know if you can see here, but I would imagine I'm pretty close to hitting pan on this thing, but I love this blush. I feel very similar to this as I do to my Too Faced bronzer. This was the very first high-end blush that I purchased, one of the first things I purchased from MAC. When I picked this up, it just was kind of, again, that special feeling of, wow, this is such a special thing for me to have in my collection, and I do think this is such a gorgeous blush. This blush actually reminds me, as far as the color tone of it, a lot of the Bare Minerals Let's Go Nude blush, except for this one is a shimmer finish. This is a type of blush that if you want to put one product and one product only on your cheeks, this can kind of act as your bronzer, your blush, and your highlight all at once. It warms up your complexion. It gives you this nice glow. It's a little bit rosy. This is such a beautiful blush that I definitely need to reach into more. My blush collection has grown a lot over the years, and sometimes I forget about these little old guys that I still really, really love. So the next product that I have to share with you guys is another product that I feel somewhat self-conscious in sharing because of the age of this product, but this is one of the things that kind of started my love for makeup. Back in the mid-2000s is kind of when I discovered YouTube and makeup videos here on YouTube. It's when I realized that makeup was more than just for function. And that's when my quest to try products out began. I had a young family. I had 2 young children at home. We didn't make a lot of money back then, so I really did not have much of a budget to spend on fancy makeup products. But enter a wonderful company called e.l.f. Do you guys remember the day when e.l.f. was nothing but $1 makeup products? And then shortly after that, they came out with another line called their mineral makeup line. So in that line, they had these little loose eyeshadow pigments. If any of you remember these, let me know. I'd be so curious because these things go way back. I want to say that I first tried these out in probably like 2008. So I recently did a declutter and I could not bring myself to declutter these things. Over the course of a few years back in the day, I ended up picking up every single one of these, and I kept most of these, mostly again because they have sentimental value to me, but these were a seriously underrated product. I think these are fantastic, and I actually think these are a more refined version of some of the pigments that are coming out right now. So take for example the ColourPop pigments. I love those. I think they're very beautiful, but they are definitely very kind of glittery and somewhat chunky, which is not a bad thing. I sometimes really like that look, but these ones, specifically the shimmery ones, are a much more kind of refined shimmer. I'm actually wearing this one right now as a highlight on my cheek. It's very, very intense, a little more intense than I typically go for. But this one specifically, this is the color Elegant. This is the one that I by far got the most use out of. This is the most beautiful, reflective, refined, shimmery inner corner highlight, cheek highlight if you like something really intense, or very, very brightening lid shade. It has very little texture to it. These are so beautiful. I had so much fun with these things. These are kind of what started my whole eyeshadow addiction. This is kind of where it all started with these little things. I would love to know if any of you guys ever tried these out, and if there's any of you out there that still have one of these floating around your collection. I think that would be so fun to know how many of you guys hold on to makeup like I do. Maybe I'm the only one that's a little bit crazy and holding on to their makeup for 10 years. But Lisa Eldridge has stuff in her collection that's like 40, 50, 60 years old. So I figure I'm okay keeping this for 10 years. A couple more eyeshadow products that kind of tell my story. First off are these two right here. This is again back in the day when I first delved into MAC. I have a couple of eyeshadows from MAC that I still really love. I don't use these nearly as much as I probably should. In fact, pulling these out and swatching them reminded me of how much I used to love these and how much I really should dig into these again. First off is this color right here. This is Satin Taupe by MAC. This is a beautiful taupey kind of silvery purple shade. I know this is not the most unique color anymore, but I'm not sure I have anything in my collection. I have a lot of similar colors to this in my collection, but this one's not quite as dark as a lot of the shades that I have that are similar to this. Beautiful lid shade if you just like that kind of cooler tone taupey eyeshadow look. I love the sheen of this. It's not overly shimmery, but it definitely has a nice shine to it. I just again have a lot of emotional attachment to this eyeshadows and also these ones right here. These ones I picked up I think a couple months after I picked up the Satin Taupe individual. So the four that I have in here are Brulee, Sumptuous Olive, Rice Paper, which is a beautiful shade, and Woodwinked, which is one of my favorite bronze colors. To this day, love this color. It's such a perfect summer bronze. It's a nice bronze that's not too dark, which means that you can put this all over your lid, and then as you kind of blend it into your crease, some of the red kind of comes out in it, the warmth. So it looks like you're wearing more eyeshadows than you actually are. Just a beautiful, very versatile shade. I know a bronze color doesn't seem very exciting. I mean, who has not done a bronze eyeshadow? But this is a great one. Old school, but definitely still great. But after I picked up those four eyeshadows, I realized I really did not have the budget at the time to pick up much more than that because they were expensive. I think the MAC individual shadows back then were about $12 a piece, even if you just got them as the individual pans without the packaging to go along with them, which was kind of pricey for me. I did not have hundreds of dollars to drop on eyeshadows. But that's when I discovered this wonderful brand, Coastal Scents. I know that some of you guys that are old school YouTubers will remember when Coastal Scents was talked about a lot. It kind of was the old B&H. I feel like people talk about B&H today the way they used to talk about Coastal Scents. Kind of makes me sad that no one talks about Coastal Scents anymore, but they had these individual eyeshadows called their Hot Pots. Some of you might be familiar with these, but these I think are a very underrated product. I love these eyeshadows. I think they're fantastic. I've had really good success with their shadows. I actually have 4 palettes like this filled with Coastal Scent shadows. This is the one that I kind of compiled all my most worn shades into. I have some cool tone browns in here, some warm tone browns in here, a little bit of depth, and then also some really nice lid shades and highlight shades. Such a good eyeshadow formula. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have tried the Hot Pots. I've heard some people say that they've had kind of inconsistent results with them, but I think their formula is fantastic. I've been really happy with all the ones that I've tried. I do have a couple more of these palettes that are filled with more vibrant shades that I don't reach for very often. I haven't tried those enough to say how well Coastal Scents does color, but I have to say everything neutral from them that I've tried I've been really impressed with. And you can find these things on sale for 99 cents a pot, so keep an eye out if you are someone on an extreme budget and you like the idea of building your own palette. I highly recommend checking out the Hot Pots from Coastal Scents. I think they're fantastic. Moving on to the last product that I want to mention for you guys today, and it is the NYX Butter Gloss. I'm sure a lot of you might have this floating around your collection, not necessarily probably the same tube that you've had for years and years and years, but this is one of the few lip glosses that I've repurchased several times. I love this gloss formula. I've always been a huge fan of a lip gloss. I think a lip gloss is a great product for someone that likes comfort on their lips but also struggles with defining their lips or shaping their lips. You guys don't know how much I struggle with that. When I'm editing videos of myself, I'm always very much irritated by the fact that my lips look feathered and jagged, and I swear everything's nice and straight until I go to edit these videos and I really think that my lips do not look very good, which I probably should not have said anything because now you guys are all going to notice and be paying attention to how terrible my lips look. What I love about a gloss is it's kind of a no-fail, easy to wear product for your lips. It just is a quick way to get your lips to look better. And this one I think is one of the best formulas, not just at the drugstore, but in general that I've tried, especially for the price. The fact that I've had the butter glosses in my collection for probably 6 years and I continue to reach for them probably more than almost any other lip gloss that I own really says something about these things. I think these are definitely some of the best glosses out there. This one that I have right here is probably one that you've all heard of. This is Tiramisu, which is one of my very favorites. It's kind of just a very nice mauvey natural looking pink. Love this color. It looks so nice with any eye look, any makeup look. Two other colors that I really love are Creme Brulee, which I know a lot of people talk about, and also the color Madeline, which is a little bit more of a kind of beigey nude. I just love these. I think these are products I will continually repurchase regardless of how large my makeup collection gets. All right, you guys, that is it for my 10 oldest products in my collection that I still really love. Let me know in the comments below, what is the oldest product that you guys have, whether you use it or just maybe hang on to it for sentimental value. I would love to know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the rest of my full month of nothing new. I am so excited about this month. Next up on the agenda is some Juvia's Place, so keep an eye out for that video. Thank you guys again for stopping by my channel today. Happy April Fool's Day. I hope that you guys have a great month of April, and I will see you guys back here very soon. Bye. Took a nap and my bun, it's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, I don't know what happened, and it grew 3 sizes, like the Grinch's heart. If you guys knew how much I wore a bun in real life, 90% of the time. You guys might see videos where my hair is down. 5 minutes after that video is filmed, I promise you this is what my hair looks like. 40 years down the road, I'm gonna be one of those old ladies that stuck with the same hairstyle because I just cannot give up the ease of the top knot. So I just got done watching March Madness. My team, Michigan State, just beat Duke. Super excited about that, but I hate seeing these teams lose. It's like watching crushed dreams every single day for 3 weeks. I don't know. It's rough. I can't do it. My team just won, and all I can think about is how sorry I feel for Zion Williamson. Is that his name? Is it Williams? Williamson. My son would be so ashamed of me right now.